For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe. We were just making our approach to the ancient city of Lirba, and what did we see? The remains of a Roman aqueduct. Yes, this is the aqueduct that brought water down the hill all the way down to the ancient city of Sida, which we're going to be visiting next, okay? But it would also have been supplying the city of Lirba up here.
There is a lake up on the mountain called Manavgat Lake, which is quite beautiful, I hear. And from that lake comes the Manavgat River, called the Milas River in ancient times. And it was the source of the aqueduct's water.
This aqueduct originally extended for 35 kilometers, all the way from the spring of Manavgat up top, down to the city of Sida. Remember that aqueduct I showed you earlier up at the top of the mountain? Well, here's the bottom of it. It comes all the way down from where we were, down here to the city of Sida, and it goes to the Nymphaeum over there. But this is how they brought fresh water, fresh clean water into the city. Some people's homes got the water directly pumped into them, such as the wealthy citizens and the bathhouses of the town. Others would come and fetch the water from the fountain, which I'll show you right now. All right, so here we are at the Nymphaeon in Greek and Nymphaeum in Latin, where the fountain was. And this is where people could come to gather water. I don't know if you can tell, but on the walls there, you see these niches with spouts. There's spouts there. The water would come flowing out of those spouts into a pool below. And that's where the people would get water. And then all around this here, you can see the remnants of it. There were reliefs decorating. It's part of the wall around it. And these had mythological scenes, and also there's reference to a festival here in the city called the Epibaterios, which was the start of the sailing season. Remember, this is a port city. And so they would start their festival here. There would be a big parade, and they'd go down through the gates of the city down to the port.
The aqueduct seems to have been built at the end of the 2nd century. We know that in the 3rd century it was renovated, and the project was financed by a man named Lolianos Brionianos and his wife Quirinia Patra, who were wealthy citizens of the city.
Here we are at the Nymphaeum of the city. We saw the one at Sida yesterday, which was a much larger one, but here's the Nymphaeon that held the water that the aqueduct brought down into the city. And this was put up in the time of Septimius Severus, again like the gate, and it was dedicated in an inscription to Artemis Pergaia, Artemis of Perga, and to Septimius Severus, and to his sons Caracalla and Geta, and to the Empress Julia Domna, and to the city of Perga. Okay, you've seen 2 of them already in 2 other ancient cities, so you should know by now that this is a Nymphaeum, and this is where water was brought into the city through aqueduct to supply the city with water. And they still got the water running. This is so cool. You can get a feel for it, you know?
So some of the people here are actually drinking this water, which I probably wouldn't recommend. But it's really special for them as city people to come out in the mountain air and to drink this fresh spring water.
Yeah, the people would come here, and this is where they would draw up their clean water. Oh, this is wonderfully cold. Yeah, now, I don't think people were allowed to bathe in here, but they were allowed to drink from it, and they were allowed to take water out of it.
The design motifs of the Nymphaeum, such as theater masks, grapes, and intoxicating plants, are related to the god Dionysus. There is also a statue of Dionysus and a satyr.
This water is so cold, it's probably coming from up the mountain.
The Nymphaeum building project was financed by a man named Titus Flavius Severianus Neon. His family name can be seen on many inscriptions throughout the city, indicating they were important here for some time. His name, in particular, is seen a lot. This fountain was remodeled around the year 500 and made to be a monument to his family. Statues of the gods Nemesis, Apollo, Asclepius, and Coronis were added. A short time later, when Christianity became predominant, Christians toppled all the statues into the basin.